I think he goes for full brutality. I think he will try to crush the rebel advance in whatever way that he can. The question will be whether or not he comes to the conclusion that he won't be able to, hence he's got to engage in some sort of political process. I think it's too early to tell that. I think that over the coming few days or so, we'll see how strong his reinforcements are actually going to be. And that will define how he moves forward from there. When it comes from the Russians, he's likely to get more than the Iranians, partly because I think the Israelis will try to strike any Iranian redeployment to Syria, less out of trying to help the rebels against Bashar al-Assad. Actually, they've made it very clear that they prefer Assad's regime to continue to survive. But more a concern that those sorts of redeployments could eventually threaten them. I think Russia will try hard. And the question will be, how much are they willing to do, considering they have Ukraine to be concerned about, and of course they're now, concerned about Georgia. We wait and see. I think I'll be saying this a lot. The wait and see, I think, is quite important because I think people were very certain that they knew what was going on in Syria. They were very certain that the way forward, for example, was to normalize with the Assad regime, that he wasn't going anywhere, that, the revolutionary uprising was done and dusted. And then lo and behold, the last few days. So I think it's important for people to be humble, cautious. Personally, I think that there are a number of things to be concerned about as well, in terms of how the rebels engage on the ground with minority communities. But I couple that sense of caution with frankly a sense of hope that this could lead to a more positive political settlement in the medium to long term. But again, we have to wait and see.
بس شوف الخيمة هون عندك باسل شوف الخيام
What I do think is clear is that the idea that you could have a regime that is so brutal and so authoritarian simply continue to rule Syria without any consequence in terms of responses from the ground indefinitely, I think is farcical. And if we want a sustainable solution in Syria, then it has to take into account the legitimate aspirations of all the components of Syrian society to be able to govern themselves, have representative government, accountable government, as opposed to the continuation of this authoritarian system.